that great. I got many calls also that is the program is still happening or it's cancelled, because a lot of people were expecting that maybe the program will cancel because of weather. But you guys come and travel from far from areas. Even I could see Aisha. She's coming from Niagara Falls. So I'm thankful to everyone, each of you. And we are starting our program formally. Today we are holding this program. I started my non-profit organization. It's called Life Dignity Foundation. So I'll tell you what about this program, and then we have some lecture series which is very known for everyone we are doing here. And I'll brief first that what is the Life Dignity Foundation, and then I will request my speakers, distinguished speakers, to talk about women empowerment and girls education. So I would start with Sarah Ali, if she could come on the stage and sit here. She's one of our speakers, distinguished. Please welcome Sarah Ali. So our second speaker is Uzma Aziz. I will request her to take a seat on the stage. And today our keynote speaker is Dr. Khalid Suhail, and of course I will introduce them a little bit. Of course everybody knows him, so it's not good. I would say that he can introduce himself by himself, and his work is already known to the community. So also please. तो हम बात कर रहे थे इसकी लाइफ डिग्निटी फाउंडेशन. तो मेरा शुरू से ये एक पैशन था. मेरा जो पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड है या सोशल बैकग्राउंड है, अपब्रिंगिंग है, जिस फैमिली से मैं एक सोशल डेमोक्रेट फैमिली से बिलोंग करता हूँ, सेंटर ऑफ द लेफ्ट पार्टी आप कह सकते हैं उसको, और प्रोग्रेसिव फैमिली से. तो सोशल वर्क वाज ऑलवेज माय पैशन. बट ड्यू टू लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, फैमिली, रोजगार के मसाइल और बहुत सारी चीज़ें वो नहीं कर सके. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, my children are grown, they are at home, so I don't have that much responsibility for them to take care of them, so I can start that one. So इसमें especially women empowerment और girls education मेरा हमेशा से फोकस रहा है. और थोड़ा सा मैं बैकग्राउंड बताऊंगा कि ये प्रोजेक्ट मैं कर रहा हूँ वहाँ पे पाकिस्तान में, बैक होम इन पाकिस्तान. आई एम डूइंग वन प्रोजेक्ट फॉर गर्ल्स एजुकेशन. सो इसमें ये है कि my father was big advocate for girls education. I have 4 sisters, but unfortunately my father passed away very early when I was 1 year old. In 72 he died, and but alhamdulillah I have my guardian, my uncle. He is alive and he taking care of my family since last 50 years. So, but due to that circumstances, my sister couldn't get that much education. But my father always had a passion for girls education. So I belong to a village, a small village. When I born there, when I grew up there, there was no electricity there. There was no paved road. There was no sewer system there, and there was nothing there. And forget about the education. So I studied there. There was a primary school in the village, small village, but there was no classrooms there. There was no desks, chairs there. So we studied them under the trees. So that was the situation. And I'm talking about the boys' education. We are still get a preference in Pakistan compared to girls' education. So forget about the girls' education. There was a school, but there was no building there. Classrooms were being built in my house, and we are taking care of the. It was like even not a yellow metal road there coming to my village. So there's no transportation available for teachers to come to that one. So we are accommodating them and all that thing. So when my father passed away, my uncle took that responsibility, and we are managing that school. Although it was a government school, it was not a private funded, it was not running by any non-profit organization, it was a government school. The government was paying whatever the salaries they are affording at that time, so whatever the facilities they could provide, but there was not enough. So lately, 10 years before, we got an opportunity through my father-in-law. He was has some influence in the government sector. So I requested him to can, if he wanted to do something for me. So please get us approval for a girls' school. We can upgrade to at least middle school. It's a primary school, elementary school till grade 5 only. And there was no education after that. The girls were not going for school anywhere because it looks like very easy here if we talk about that, but we can't imagine how difficult it is to take to the girls to the school because there is no, the people are like agriculturalists. They don't have any timing just like us. 8 o'clock, they have to wake up, 9 o'clock, they have to be Raj office. They don't have any transportation, there's weather conditions, there was no paved metal road there. So all that, there's no transport, public transport available. So girls were not going to the school. So when we upgraded that school, there was no land available from the amenity plot available for that school. So I donated about 1 acre land there. It's called 8 Canal there. So build, construct school, primary, girls school there in middle school to upgrade another school there. Now it is fully, classrooms are available, desks are available, teachers are there, and it's properly fully up and running middle school. But the thing is that, of course, we are in the 21st century. So middle school is not enough still, because previously they were sitting home after grade 5. Now the girls are sitting home after grade 8. So they are not skilled also, that one. So I thought that we should upgrade that school and at least to the grade 10 or to the grade 12. And we should start some vocational training also there. Computer literacy is there. There could be any swimming center we can open or do any welfare. And a lot of people are there. And actually there is a problem with that one also. In Pakistan, there is a lot of private schools out there. So, and they are giving some like English education and all that things, English medium. So it is a trend of that, and people are, sometimes they feel complex also. They send their kids to private school, whoever is affording. So in the government schools, only poor class goes there. So we can fund them because a lot of people, especially for they send them for some work, household work. They are sending as a maid. Child labor is there. So we can send, give them some clothes. So winter jackets we can provide them, shoes we can provide them, or a scholarship. That kind of support we can provide. But right now, I talked to the government. They said we don't have any funding available. So if you give us. If you can contribute to build a construction of, you can construct 2 classrooms and a staff room additional, we can upgrade to high school. High school means grade 10 in Pakistan. So I committed with them. So I already had a fundraiser last year. So we already collected $10,000, but we still need more to have a furniture there to build, to have a lab, computer lab there for there. So I'm working on that project. This is from Pakistan, of course, but we are in Canada. So Canada is our, for me, maybe I would say, is a second home, but for my kids, it's a first home. So we have a obligation to this society too. We can't say, okay, we are living here, we are using their facilities, we are using their community center, we are using their schools, we are using Canada's healthcare facilities, we are using their, we have to serve the community here also. That's why, of course, situation is not that bad, just like in Pakistan or any other developing country. So we are focusing here with the education. So that's why this is the first series of seminar here for education to provide them engage women and girls, especially for that one, how we can educate, how we can. There are a lot of challenges here also, like mental health is a big issue, especially for the younger community. The younger generation, and especially people coming from our South Asian community. So these are the first generation, especially from Pakistan, if we call about that. It's the first generation here. Their kids are growing there. During the conflict here, because we have a strong root there, we have come from a different culture, very different culture. From religious point of view, from social point of view also, and this is a very different culture here also. So we get like, kids are struggling between this culture or that culture. Maybe sometimes they go to the Western, totally Western culture. They become, they go beyond their, what we call is boundaries from our point of view. Maybe they don't think it's a boundary, they are crossing the boundaries, they are crossing the limits. Sometimes they are becoming too rigid, even more conservative than the society in Pakistan, the back home. So that's the conflict we are facing here. So that's the background. I invited everyone. I took a lot of time. So I invite Sara Ali, and she is a dentist by profession, but she's a. Oh, okay. So I would like to invite Uzma Aziz. She's executive director on Malta Women Council, and she's doing a lot of work here. And I hope that we can collaborate with her, my organization, and her organization, because she's like doing mentoring for the grassroots organization. So it's very it's an infancy stage, my organization. So I invite her so she can talk about women empowerment and how we can collaborate with the physical, helping with the people and from the educational part. So welcome.